Hey guys, it is under 2 weeks until Dawntrail's early access is finally in our hands, and with that, Square Enix has released an official article talking about, quote-unquote, regarding congestion during Dawntrail's launch. In this video, we're going to go over all the juicy details there, because this is definitely going to hit us all, because does anyone else remember the past queues? Yeah. This is important. The article starts by saying we would like to share information regarding the congestion that may occur during the early access period and release of Dawntrail. It definitely will on Gilgamesh. With the launch of a new expansion, we are expecting far more simultaneous logins compared to usual. In light of the congestion that occurred during the launch of Endwalker, we have taken precautionary measures such as expanding our data centers and adding new worlds. However, our player base has continued to grow since then, and a large number of players will be playing for extended periods during the launch of the new expansion, which could result in worlds reaching their login caps and therefore longer login queues. To alleviate our players' concerns, we would like to share some details regarding situations that may arise during early access and the launch of Dawntrail, as well as our countermeasures against congestion. They then go to talk about login queues in its own section. When a world reaches the maximum number of players that can log in, it will result in a login queue for that particular world. Even if the queue does not appear to be counting down, the queuing process is still functioning and will admit players in the order in which they queued. We apologize for the inconvenience, but ask that you patiently remain in the queue should you encounter a wait. Note that upon canceling the queue, you will be removed to the back of the queue when reattempting to log in. When a login queue is in place, players on the full version of the game will be prioritized for logging in. Free trial characters will be able to log in after the login queue has been cleared. This allows us to prioritize our paying customers and will mean longer wait times for free trial users, but we would like to ask for your understanding on this matter. Next section is restrictions on data center travel and world visit systems. As existing data centers and worlds are expected to become especially congested, the following restrictions will be in place starting in patch 7.0 until patch 7.01 or patch 7.05 at the latest, depending on the situation, to alleviate congestion and prioritize logins for home world residents. They then talk about data center travel within the same physical data center, starting with Japanese data centers, and they say the number of non-home world characters that can log in will be limited. When a home world has reached the maximum number of visiting characters, non-home world characters that are logged out on that world will be unable to log in, and the world will be unavailable for visitation via data center travel. The next one is North American data centers, and Aether, Primal, and Crystal will be unavailable for travel, where Dynamis will remain available for travel, and the maximum number of traveling characters will be increased compared to usual. The newly added worlds in the Dynamis data center are relatively unpopulated and may be helpful login destinations when the other worlds are experiencing high congestion. I think that's a brilliant idea, and I myself may be on Dynamis, if I'm honest. Next up is European data centers, which is Chaos and Light, which will be unavailable for travel. The next one is Shadow, will be open to travel with probationary worlds, which may be helpful login destinations when the other worlds are experiencing high congestion. And then there is a probationary worlds article that I'm going to keep on the side of the screen for a little bit that you can read through, but I'm not going to read through it here. Next up is visiting the Oceanian data center via cross-region data center travel, and it says that the cross-region data center travel functionality, which has been in public testing for some time and appears to be stable, will be usable in patch 7.0 and onwards. I think that's good news. When traveling, limitations on cross-region will remain as follows. Japanese data center, North American, and European can go to the Oceanian data center. I guess that just means that they can't go from Oceania like to the other ones. So I guess like it's only like the other data centers can go into Oceanian. Then they're going to be talking about the world visit system, and largely this is just following the exact same thing as the data center travel within the physical data center thing. Like it looks basically the same. Next section is talking about playing on other worlds during congestion, and it says high congestion is expected on all worlds, especially those on the Japanese and North American and European data centers. Although data center travel and world visit will be limited, as mentioned above, during periods of high congestion, you may want to consider playing on worlds with relatively low populations, new worlds, NAEUOC, probationary worlds in the EU, and then the Oceanian data center. Now they make recommendations based on the particular data center, saying players on the Japanese data center traveling to a less crowded world on data center travel using the world visit system, or traveling to the Oceanian data center on data center travel is recommended during periods of high congestion. For North American players, traveling to Dynamis data center or Oceanian data center via data center travel is recommended during periods of high congestion. The Dynamis data center also has new worlds which can offer certain bonuses when selected as a home world. Like, I don't know if with Dawntrail they're going to be changing it, but yeah, there's like this like experience boost on those worlds, which can definitely be handy. And then for players on the European data center, traveling to the Probationary Shadow data center or Oceanian data center via data center travel is recommended during high periods of high congestion. We then go to show how you can visit different worlds, which we're going to skip for now. At this point, this has been seen a lot on this channel, so yeah. They then talk about character creation, and new characters can't be created on a world that's experiencing congestion. This is because new characters must be logged into that world in order to be added to the database and complete other character creation processes. So they recommend players to be creating characters out of peak congestion times. They then say for North American and Oceanian data centers to go to the worlds that are less crowded, and it's probably much easier to make new characters. The section coming up next is Error 2002 when logging in, and Error 2002 may be displayed when selecting a character in the character selection menu. This error is displayed when the login server is experiencing high amounts of traffic or when the number of characters waiting in a login queue for a logical data center exceeds its maximum capacity. This is a measure to prevent the server from crashing due to extreme traffic loads. Crap. This is going to happen on Gilgamesh, isn't it? Should you encounter Error 2002 when attempting to log in, we apologize for the inconvenience, but ask that you wait a while before trying again. Furthermore, the aforementioned maximum capacity has been increased by roughly 50% compared to the launch of Endwalker. Gilgamesh scares me still. Why am I on Gilgamesh? Error 2002 may also occur when you are waiting in the login queue. Longer wait times mean an increased likelihood of being interrupted by connection issues due to packet loss, unstable Wi-Fi connections, or other network environment errors. In the event of a disconnect error due to 2002, the lobby server will hold your place in the queue for roughly a minute. So that's good news. If your connection returns and you manage to re-enter the lobby server relatively quickly, you'll be able to return to your place in the login queue. However, if a certain amount of time passes before you return to the lobby server, your place in the queue will be lost and you will need to re-enter the login queue from the beginning. Next section is Error 90,002 or 90,006 during gameplay. These errors are general network connection errors caused by network disconnections. In the event of these errors being displayed, please check the status of your network environment. As general troubleshooting tips, we advise using a wired internet connection instead of Wi-Fi, and PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 users are recommended to review their console's power save settings. Next section is automatic logout. We're familiar with this. In order to ease congestion, players who are inactive for 30 minutes will be automatically logged out. As we would like to give priority to those who actively play the game, we apologize for the inconvenience, but we ask for you to log out when you are not actively playing. Girl. we all, yeah, moving on. Then they have a section on peak congestion times, and just summarizing it, Japanese data center 2 a.m. to 8 a.m. PDT. All these time zones are in PDT, by the way. North America 1 p.m. to 11 p.m. EU 4 a.m. to 4 p.m. Oceania 12 to 6 in the morning. Next section is preventative measures against server crashes. To prevent world servers from crashing, the number of characters that can move between in-game areas within a certain time frame will be limited. As such, the game may display unable to move areas due to congestion. Anyone who's done Hunt Train's familiar with this error, very familiar with this error actually, when attempting to enter a different area. If this error is displayed, we ask that you try to change areas again or wait a while before attempting to again. We apologize for the inconvenience and appreciate your cooperation as we strive to provide a stable gameplay experience. Wait times for instance content is the next section, and they say there is a possibility that certain instance content, such as duties required to progress through a quest, may experience congestion. For instance, duties required to progress a quest, we have devised methods to stagger player traffic during main scenario progression. Ooh, I wonder what that means. Oh no. And have also implemented a queue system in case of congestion. Wait, what does that mean? The staggered... I'm curious now. Sorry, I digress. They say should congestion occur, your number in the queue will be displayed upon attempting to enter the instance. We ask that you patiently remain in the queue as players are admitted into the instance in the order that they join the queue. For instance duties required to progress a quest, we have devised methods to stagger player traffic during main scenario progression. What does that mean? I mean, the obvious answer would... Next section is instances of the new areas. During the periods immediately after Dawntrail's early access and launch, areas added in Dawntrail or visited during the Dawntrail main scenario will be heavily trafficked. In order to allow more players to enter these areas, we'll be implementing several instances of the same area. Instanced areas will have their names, followed by the instance number at the end, such as Urkapacha 1, Urkapacha 2, Urkapacha 3, and so on. While each of them share the same map, they will be treated as separate areas, and you will be moved to one of these instances when visiting these destinations. Again, if you do the Hunt Train on Gilgamesh at all, you're very familiar with this. Then they say, selecting and confirming the instance area, you can choose a specific instance of the area either by traveling to your destination through an entrance or from a neighboring area, so like not through the teleport menu, like through like one of those like walkway wall things, or by interacting through an iterate in the area. Then you can the instance will be automatically selected if you teleport, basically however you teleport, and there's what the next section says. Restrictions on instance areas. Players in different instances of the same area can communicate with tell messages as normal. However, there are some restrictions, such as being unable to see each other's character in the home world. I mean in the overworld. Next one is entering the same instance area as a party. Party members will generally be moved to the same instance area when using teleport or return. However, party members may be split between different instances if the destination instance has reached the player cap, and such players may not always end up in the same instance and may need to select their desired instance either by traveling through the entrance from a neighboring area or by interacting with Aetherite in their desired area. Again, if you have done the Hunt Train on Gilgamesh and Endwalker, you are very familiar with this. Final section is support services during early access and immediately after launch. The development and operations teams will be providing our utmost in live support in order for our players to be able to enjoy the new adventures that await in Dawntrail. World and server statuses, as well as any issues that may arise, will be announced through our Lodestone announcements or our official Twitter channels. FFXIV N and FFXIV News N, which we hope will be helpful in keeping you up to date with the latest developments. Obviously, if you aren't like English speaking and you are on this channel, because I know that there is a lot of you who like are in different regions, like replace the dash N with like your region. Actually, this was quite a big article, so I'm not gonna really add any commentary, but like the TLDR is world transfer to like one of those like less popular worlds or Oceania data center, and you'll probably get in to log in.